God has a way of working in every life in a unique and special way. And Aaron Benz is uniquely gifted, talented, and as he'll share, I'm sure, blessed. A student in Eastern's Templeton Honors College, Aaron left his home in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, to come to Eastern while still undergoing treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma. The victory has been his. Aaron has played goalie for Eastern's lacrosse team for all of his 4 years, serving as its team captain for the last 2. His accomplishments on the field have been impressive. He was named First Team All-Freedom Conference, is a recipient of the All-Academic Honors Award for Greater Philadelphia, was named MVP of the Middle Atlantic Conference Championship, and is a MAC Giant Steps Award winner. Aaron was also featured on a Fox TV show called The Winning Edge. At EU's 2013 Athletic Awards Banquet, Aaron received both the Men's Eagle Award for Lacrosse and the Award of Excellence given to the university's very best male athlete. Aaron's accomplishments off the field are equally stunning. As a member of the student group College Life, Aaron has been featured in major magazines because of his participation in the Headstrong Foundation, an organization that raises awareness and support for cancer patients. Meanwhile, he has maintained a very high GPA while completing a BA degree in mathematics, one of our most demanding academic majors. His immediate goal after graduation is to become a technology consulting analyst. So, as Aaron graduates from Eastern, he is far more than a survivor. He is a true champion. Celebrating with him today are his parents, Drs. Larry and Patty Benz, his grandparents, Dr. Johnny and Jana Gore, and his sister Lauren and brother Jonathan. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Aaron Benz.
Good morning, friends, family, President Black, members of the Board of Trustees, my family, and most important, class of 2013. Now, I'm thinking over what I was exactly going to say today. One thing I wanted to make clear and try to do is to make this as boring as possible. So every once in a while, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to yell, class of 2013. But first, I would like to thank Student Development and Eastern University for choosing me to speak to you today. It's truly a great honor to represent the class of 2013 and to thank Eastern for all that it's given my fellow classmates and me. There's so many things I'm going to miss about Eastern. I'm going to miss the people watching the turtles over there by the softball field. Every single time, there's always 3 of them right there, and people are always watching. A couple of us call them lockjaw. I'm sure everybody's got their own name. I'm going to miss Bill, a Sodexo employee who you walk in and has somehow managed to memorize every student's name. I'm going to miss JP's weekly riddle in the athletic training room. I'm going to miss Wednesday night worship and golf. I'm going to miss the astronomy lab and the planetarium. I'm going to miss my coaches, my professors, a close-knit community of Christian fellowship. I'm going to miss you all, class of 2013. And all these things, we've been truly blessed with the gift of a great Christian community. I believe that for each of us, God has called us here, Eastern, for the purposes that we have and have still yet to understand. The skills, the experience, the knowledge, and the relationships we have obtained throughout our college career are more than just a LinkedIn our network of connections. They're part of our story. And like any good novel, the protagonist uses the past to find the future. Every one of us is going on a different journey with different experiences, but our destination remains the same. Indeed, the body of church has many functions, but that cannot operate without the other. So I ask that as you search for your next step in life, when deciding between different jobs, when contemplating where to live, consider how your time here at Eastern has impacted that. I challenge you with this question: how are you pursuing the kingdom? As a longtime lacrosse player, I developed a keen sense of competitiveness. It's true there's nothing like winning when you've longed so long for something and worked so hard for it. But if I'm going to be honest, I hate losing much more than I hate winning. I hate losing much more than I hate winning. After losses or individual failures, I feel devastated. I spend days contemplating and overthinking every particular detail to see if I could improve, if I could improve on anything, because I emphatically hate the feeling of losing, of failing. I personally believe that it is this very desire that has led me to accomplish a great many things. And it is this very idea that I want to challenge you with today, to seek out your failure and embrace it. Too often we succumb to the happy-go-lucky attitude and ignore any possibility of embracing our failure towards the goal of progression. It'd be wrong to suggest that I'm asking you to dwell on your failures and beat yourself down. Rather, I present what may seem like an ironic challenge, to embrace and love your failures, so that learning through them, you may be built up. Class of 2013. After consecutive first-round Mid-Atlantic tournament losses during my first 2 years of playing lacrosse here, my fellow teammates and I grew hungrier and hungrier. We worked harder from one year to the next because all we wanted to do was win the MAC championship. Last year, after improving the entire season and beating everyone on our side of the conference, we had finally made it to the championship. It was us versus Widener. They had won 11 out of the previous 14 MAC championships and were looking for their third in a row. After a couple quarters, we found ourselves down by several goals. But we dug deep, and one by one we started coming back. The hill was filled. The crowd was on the peak of eruption. The nerves of hundreds of spectators and players were trembling at every moment on the field. The game was tied 11-11 at the last tick of regulation. Overtime. After winning the face-off and settling into our offense, attackman Chris Farrar made a shifty move, beat his defender, and wrapped the sudden death goal around the opposing keeper. The crowd immediately stormed the field, and it was an unforgettable moment for Eastern and all those that had attended. We won. We were MAC champions. I tell this story not to boast of self-accomplishment, but to give an example of embracing failure. By searching for our weaknesses, acknowledging them, and then strengthening them for 3 years, we were able to overcome. For an example of someone who has acknowledged failure, look no further than the Apostle Paul, who called himself the worst of all sinners, but was nonetheless able to become one of the most influential followers of Christ in history. Too often, we are afraid of failure, so we try to hide our shortcomings. As Christians, we need to acknowledge our sin, our failures, and seek help so that we may love our God and brethren better, so we may better preach the gospel without words, so that we may pursue the kingdom. As we leave here today to seek out our own personalized story, I remind you and challenge you to pursue God's plan for you, to denounce idleness, and to be a good servant by investing the talents that God has given each one of us. I would like to close today with a quote from my fellow Kentuckian Wendell Berry from his novel Hannah Coulter, Compliments of Dr. Dill. Here. You mustn't wish for another life. You mustn't want to be somebody else. What you must do is this: rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, and in everything give thanks. I am not all that way capable of so much, but those are the right instructions. Thank you, class of 2013.